Hello everybody, it's Craftin' Just Because with Chris Cowan. I hope everybody's having a great Wednesday. Okay, so let's get started here. Before I tell you what we're going to make, I wanted to bring back in the card we made yesterday. So my intent was to put the birdhouse on the front. And so when I was done, I didn't like that there was so much white, but I just wanted to show you how you can really spruce up a card. All I did is add a couple strips of designer series paper to take away some of that white, and I love the card much better. So I just wanted to show you guys that. That was one thing. Now today we're going to make a little Mother's Day treat, and it's for if you have a lot of people to gift to, or even just your mom. But it's, or it could be a little treat too, but they're really inexpensive to make. We're going to be using the Hooray for Surprises bundle, the Zinnia paper. I also have some Blackberry Bliss and Melon Mambo cardstock, and I'm using the Deckled Circles dies. So we'll be using our die cutting machine. I'm also pulling in some Berry Burst ink and some of the Lemon Lime Twist ribbon. And what we're going to do is we're going to play with this container. Now, I'm using the Deckled Circles die, so I don't necessarily need the lid. But if you didn't have those dies, I was going to show you how you can make this same project. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's do all of our die cutting first. So I'm going to bring in my mini cut and emboss machine. I might need to trim, well, I will need to trim some of these papers down. I'll do that here. Oh, well, you know what? Actually, oh no, it'll fit. Okay. Okie dokie. Okay, so I got all my papers cut down. Let's go ahead and do all of our die cutting. This is a simple project. So I should tell you what size dies I'm using here. On the Deckled Circles, I'm using the second and third smallest and the 6th and 7th smallest. Okay. So I'm going to do the smaller of the circles first on the designer series paper. If I can make my sandwich right. Okay, so there's those pieces. Then I'm going to take my larger of the dies and use it on the Blackberry Bliss cardstock. And then we're going to put these dies away, and we're going to bring in the Hooray for Surprises dies. And I'm going to cut a heart out of the Melon Mambo. where's my plate there? Okay. And then we also want to cut out of the designer series paper. I'm going to use this piece, but I'm using the other side, and I'm going to cut some greenery. Just like that. And then I'm also going to cut out of that scrap that we use to make our circles. I'm going to cut a flower, but I'm going to use the opposite side. Okay. Very cute. And then we need to do one last die cut. But first we need to glue two pieces together. So let's do that so that we can do our last die cut and put together this beautiful little treat for Mother's Day. So I'm just going to get that ready. And I'm going to take my two largest circles and I'm going to glue those together. And I'm only going to put glue on the outer edge, not the inside, because we're going to cut that out kind of. Okay, now what I'm going to tell you right now is if you didn't have this set, what you would do would be you would use the lid and then glue this down on the center here. But we're not going to use the lid because we have this set. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it to the back. And I'm going to center that down. And I'm going to die cut that circle. And we're going to run it through twice. Just because it's got the designer series paper on it. And what this will do is they could pull this tab. And it'll release the candy when we... when they're ready. So I'm going to run it through. Okay. We should be good to go. Yep. Okay, I don't want to ruin that perforation. So I've got to be really careful when I lift up that washi tape. Let's see if I can get my... There we go. Okay. So it stays in place, okay, with that piece, because it's perforated along the edges. Then what we're going to do is we are going to fill it with our little candy. Okay, and I have a mixture of peanuts in there. And then we're going to glue around the outside edge of the treat holder. And I want to do this first so that it glues in place. And you could use hot glue, but the problem is you don't want to melt that plastic. Okay, so we're going to set that aside while we create the rest of our project here. Okay, so let's stamp or let's actually put this together first. I'm getting a little carried away here. That's going to be the topper. We'll set that aside for a minute. Then we're going to bring in our Berry Burst ink pad. And I'm going to stamp "You're the Best." Just like that. And then I'm going to clean off my stamp here. And you know what I should have done before I glued that candy jar on is I should have stamped the pull on the back of this. I might still be able to do it. We're going to be really careful. Okay. And I'm going to use Memento ink for that. Bring in the pull sign or word. There we go. So it says pull on there. And then we're all done with stamping. And now we are going to punch a hole on our heart. And I'm going to glue my flower right down onto my leaf here, or my sprig. Okay. And we're going to flip that over. We're going to glue this down to the top, and I'm going to put glue over the entirety of that piece. So it's a little hat if you haven't noticed. And then we're going to put glue on just the flower part and glue it onto onto there. And then what I'm going to do, because I ran it through so many times, just to make sure that we give it enough stability, I'm going to tie a ribbon around it onto the top, just to hold that candy in there, because I also used heavy candy, those peanut M&Ms. Okay, then I'm just going to put my tag through the top. And I'm going to tie a little bow. And that is going to be our project for today, you guys. Super easy. I think it turned out really cute. It's a fun way to use these dies. I mean, that's what they were made for, is treats like that to surprise people with. And then it also used the deckled circles dies, which I just love anyway. But I think that turned out very cute. And it's a fun little Mother's Day gift. And like I said, if you have some coworkers or some people at church or something like that that you'd like to share something with, that's a cute and expensive way to do so. So I hope you guys have a great night. And until next time, I will see you later. Bye-bye.